let's go into what is Canva. If you are brand new and haven't used Canva before, Canva is the everyday person's Adobe, basically. It used to be when you want to design a flyer or want to edit photos or anything along those lines, you needed some experience with Adobe or different types of editing apps. You would have to use an editing app if you had a Samsung versus an iPhone versus a Mac versus a Windows. And then Canva came along and made it a very, seamless operation where you could create not just social media posts, but you could also create your resume, your menus, signage for your storefront, anything along those lines. You could create banners for your website. So they have a lot of templates that you can use for free or templates that you use for paid. So think of it as a wonderful, just creative tool that you or someone on your team can use. Do let us know in the chat box if there's a certain part of Canva you want to learn more about, if you have never used Canva before. So I want to see where you guys, what's interests you and what's your expertise. All right, so let me do this. And I'm going to open up Canva for you guys. There it is. We have to like share and then unshare. I love that. All right, so this is how Canva looks. This is my personal account. So I'm going to share this with y'all. When you go into Canva, it is free to start an account. All you need is your email address or a password. You can sign in with like a Google account, like a Gmail account or your Facebook account. Once you're in, it's going to welcome you back. You could click on this purple button to start create a design. You could go down here and start creating designs. They'll have the templates, they'll have the features, all of these little different sections. So we're going to go through them real quick. Right here says recommended for you. This just recommends templates that maybe you use often. So I create a lot of Instagram story posts, so they're going to recommend those for me. All of your designs, you can see them down here as well, or you could click here and it will show all the designs you have created, just in case you need to share them with anyone. Shared with you are designs interns have shared with me, templates people have used. Again, if somehow Zoom isn't syncing up and isn't showing what I'm trying to share with you guys, do let me know because I know that happens. Brand kit. So your brand kit only really comes if you pay. So Canva, again, is a free service and they have a lot of things for you for free. And I actually was using the free service pretty much up until a few months ago. Then I did the paid version because the paid version allows you to upload your logos, multiple logos, and all your brand colors and your brand fonts all in one area. So for myself, I have a magazine. So these are our 3 brand colors. And then a YouTube show I'm a part of that I create posts of. These are our brand colors. A branding company I'm a part of. So these are our brand colors. And then my personal colors, and then another client's colors. And so what this it helps is that way when you're creating posts or creating your menu or creating signage, these colors will automatically show up when you're creating it. So let me go into that real quick. So recommend it for you. Let's say I want to create, want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay. Let's say I want to create a menu. I want to show you guys how those brand colors pop up. And let's just go with this one. It looks fancy, it looks pretty. Okay, once I click on it, you can click on these little colors here. All of my brand colors pop up right here. And of course, default colors, and you can start putting whatever other colors you want. So when you are creating something for your company or someone else on your team is creating it, if you're able to put your brand colors there, they don't have to think about it. Everything will look the same. And that way that you have a consistent look to your brand. So you could definitely just play around with this. And so because there's this brown, so for example, let's say I want this dinner menu to have my like NMD colors. What I would just do is change this. How would I actually do that again? Change that text to yellow, yellow, yellow. And you just play around with it. You can change that to that color or the blue. So yeah, you can start changing all the document colors to match your brand color. Okay. So let's actually go back to home. I want to go through this with you guys. Content calendar is another thing that comes with the paid version. It's not something that you need if you have another way to schedule out your post. So for example, if you do a lot of your posting on Facebook and Instagram, you could just use Facebook Creator Studio. It is free and you can schedule out your post there. But let's say you want something a little bit more intense. You can add more to like your YouTube channel or any kind of other social media channels. You could just start creating your post here. So choose a design. Let's say this one. And I don't believe I have connected any of my social media accounts, but it will show me here. Choose a destination. Okay, my magazine's connected, but you can schedule to different social media platforms and you write the caption and then you schedule out the post. So that's what the content calendar is for. But if you don't need it, don't worry about it. I don't want you to feel like you have to pay for it just so you get the content calendar. There's other ways that you can schedule out your post, but it's a great feature that Canva has. All your folders. This area, again, is just organization. If you want to put all of your designs in one folder. So for example, let's say during the holiday season that just passed, let's say you have different types of menus or different types of signage for the holiday season. You can create a folder, say holidays 2020, put all your designs there. So that way when holidays 2021 come around, you could just go to that folder and just probably retweak some things so you don't have to recreate the wheel every year. And that way you could just put all that new stuff in 2021. Okay. Now let's go into creating a design. Now, like I said, I create menus, posters, signage. One of the biggest reasons why people start using Canva to create also social media posts is, as we all know, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, all of that, they have certain sizing for the photos and for their banners. And so instead of you trying to resize a photo or think about it, you could just put it in here and it will size it for you. So you don't have to do any extra editing. By the way, feel free to ask questions along the way or put them in the chat box or Q&A box. So let's create. No, I don't want that. Maybe I do. Okay, this is an IG story. So we'll do an IG story and then we'll do a menu and then maybe a resume if that's something that you want. But let me know what you guys want to see. So this is our IG story. So right off the bat, they're going to give you templates that you've already used, templates that they think you should use, and then just a bunch of other type of templates. Most of the templates are free. You can get a good amount of templates for free for the free version. The biggest difference I saw between the free version and the paid version is actually the amount of photos I can get. There's a lot of photos that you could get that you couldn't get with the free version. But let's say you want to do this. You have a sale going on. All right, so it's animated and it will tell you that it's animated and you will see it here. So it says pan. So that's how it's going to look. If you guys can tell, all of these animations are free, but these little crowns means it's the paid version. These are the same animations you would see in an Instagram and Facebook post as well. So what makes this actually quite amazing is, as we know on social media, they want you to do video more, but sometimes it's hard to do a video. I get that. Like, you don't want to always be in front of the camera, or you might not have something that's really eye-catching. What's great, especially on Instagram and Facebook, is if you just use one of these animations, when you upload it, it does upload as a video. So the algorithm thinks you have created a video, but really it's just an animation. And so it's a little trick to go around that. But this is an IG story. So let's just say you have 20% off everything. You put your birthday code. Let's just say what is it? Let's say Jan 2021 is the discount code. And this is where you can play around with the different fonts, the different colors. Again, the fonts recently used, they would tell you these fonts, but right here where it says brand fonts, going back to your brand kit, if you put any of your brand fonts there, let's say there's a certain type of fonts that you start to realize you really like, and you put them there, they will show up here. So that way all of your content looks the same. Okay. And thank you guys for joining. We got a few new people. So thank you. Towards the end, you guys can ask questions, or you can put them in chat box or Q&A box. So here is the photo. So you could just look up photos. A lot of these photos you can also find on Unsplash or Upsplash, forgot how you pronounce it. So there's it's a free photo website. So if you don't know of it, I want to say it's Unsplash. You can find a lot of free photos there. And so again, they're going to have a bunch of photos. So let's just say, let's say you actually, because I'm hungry right now, so tacos. Let's say you have a restaurant and you have a sale going on. You can move it there. So you're just going to grab the photo and move it there. And again, these colors, click on it. Those aren't maybe your brand colors. So you're going to pick that yellow. And maybe you want to change that to black, whatever it may be. So it doesn't have to look exactly like the template. You can definitely play around with it. You can add animation. So again, the photos are there. This thing called uploads is anything you upload. So any of the photos you've uploaded, videos, audio. So the audio comes with the paid version. The free version, you can upload images and videos. And as you could tell, I've uploaded a lot of images. This also came with the free version. You could upload a lot of images. It honestly took me a year of uploading images for Canva to tell me you need to delete some images. So any pictures you may have, you can upload there. And then photos are all the stock photos they have. You don't have to worry about copyrights or anything like that. They already fixed that for you. Elements. Elements is all these cool little, graphics that people use in their posts. So you could definitely just play around with that. Let's say, again, you can even maybe just write like excited and see what pops up. Because someone might be excited about, 25% off like tacos or something. So then you could click on that, it will just pop up there. And then you could, again, play around with the brand colors. So that way it looks like the same colors of your brand. Text, again, if you want to change any of the text, have some really cool. I like these because I use this one because those really, we all love those really cool text posts and we don't know how people created them. So I like seeing these. Styles. Here again are my brand colors. If you don't know necessarily your brand colors and you sort of have an idea of what your colors want, they already put together a color palette for you. So you could just play around with some of these and see which one you gravitate towards for your business. There's music. Music, I want to say, did come with the paid version. I don't think I had a lot of access to it in the free version. Videos. So they now have stock videos for you to use. So again, this is a great trick to use if you don't want to take videos of yourself or for your business, and maybe you just you know, don't have the best camera work, or you just don't feel comfortable creating video. I get that. So let me actually get out of here. I want to create like a quick Instagram post for you guys to show you how to use the video. All right. Let's use this template. Let's go to video. All right. And let's say you have a flower shop. Well, first you put flower shop, they put a lot of pictures of people in a flower shop, but maybe you don't want that. You just want to show flowers. So let's pick. So again, these are just all like really beautiful videos. They're stock videos. You don't have to worry about copyright or anything like that. You can move it. You can put something here where they could Google like flower shop in San Bruno. That's fun. Then you download this, you could, and then post it on your Instagram or Facebook. It is now a video. So when you upload it, it comes up as a video. You could play around with it. You could put your info. You could actually maybe just do a search of like your store name here. And you could just, I don't know, Nicole's Flower Shop. There we go. Or you could just get rid of this altogether. But when it uploads, it just plays like this. And that's it. So you could definitely, I don't want, as a social media strategist, I love when people do videos, but I also know it's very difficult, especially during COVID time, to create really good videos about your business. So definitely use the free stock videos if you can. So you can go around that and you get those nice videos on your Instagram and on your Facebook and Twitter, wherever you may be. And then background is just stock background coloring. Maybe you just want, you know, just a cool background, like this painting, candy, like because Valentine's Day is coming up. They have amazing stock photos of food, by the way. And of course, flowers and anything along those lines. So let's go and make a menu together. Any questions so far? Because I don't want to be showing you guys things and it's not going to be super helpful for your business. So do let me know. And if I'm looking over here, I have 2 screens. So that's why I have to look at 2 different ways. Okay. All right. So when you look up menu, they have like restaurant menus. Again, these are templates. So for example, this is a premium template. But this one right here is free. And so is this one, the Christmas one. So again, I used a free version of Canva up until a few months ago. I honestly just started doing the paid version for the brand kit and just a little bit more organization. But as a solo entrepreneur and business owner, I was able to use the free one for a few years. So don't worry about it. But let's pick okay, this is a free menu. This is a fun one, very colorful. All right, so right off the bat, let's say you don't want that little border. That border, you know, bugs you. Maybe it just bugs me, but it bugs me. So you can get rid of that. Photos. So let's see. We might run into this problem. So let me actually see if this works. I spilled coffee, guys. The problem I'm talking about is sometimes you can drag the photo here and it will repopulate into that new photo. But sometimes, for some odd reason, do not know, this photo won't change. And I think it's because of the template sometimes, so we will see. Yay, it moved. All right. So again, you could just pick a photo and drag it over, and then that would be your photo. You could also, what you could do for a lot of posts, right here, as you could tell, I picked a pretty dark photo. So all of this is really dark, and I can change the font coloring to be white, or I could go to transparency and just make it a little bit lighter. So this is easier to read. And you could play around with this as much as you want. And transparency is on anything that has a photo. So you can use it for any social media posts, banner posts, your menu, your resume. So you can play around with that. All right. And of course, you go on here and you change the name. Also, as you can see, I'm able to click on them individually, but they're not really showing me. Okay, here we go. So you can actually link things. So here it is. So link, and you can put an external link. So let's say you want to upload your menu to your website, but you also want to link maybe like Restaurant Week is coming up, and maybe there's a Restaurant Week deal coming up. You can then just put the website here, hit apply. And so when they're on your website and they click on the name, it would be able to go to that website as well. So you're also able, when you make your resume, when people click on, if they open up your resume and you can link your name to maybe your LinkedIn profile, or maybe your YouTube page, or maybe a project page that you've done, like a project that you've done, so it takes them there as well. It makes things a little bit cleaner. Okay. Let's get rid of this, and you can just start playing around and deleting it. Let me check to see if there's any questions. So I don't want to miss anything. Oh, perfect. Oh, perfect. Well, thank you. I'm so happy that I got a nice little note. So thank you so much for I'm glad this is putting you at ease of using Canva. So again, you can play around with this and make your menu as creative as you want. So let's see how well a white will look on here. Oh, no, we're gonna stick with black. You could also, I don't want you to think, ooh, I might hit escape. For me, I like to sometimes just make it bigger, because I'm not about to try to strain my eyes. So I know right off the bat, it looks smaller, but you could just make it a little bit larger. And just that way, when you're working in it, you could see like your spelling. So I don't know if you guys use this at all, but I'm just gonna put it out there. So I have Grammarly connected to my email and like basically my Google Chrome. So Grammarly checks for grammar and misspelled words. For some odd reason, it won't connect to Canva. So the reason why I also make this bigger is I'm a horrible speller by default. And so I like to see if I'm misspelling a word. I have a MacBook, so it underlines it in red. And so then I can just right click and see if the correct word pops up, or if I need to Google how to spell that word. So just letting you know, if you do have Grammarly, it doesn't connect to here, but it's hard at least for me to see. I do wear glasses, for me to see misspelled words when it's that small. So I like to make it a little bit larger, so that way there's no misspellings on my resume or my menu. All right, let's go into resume making. Now, I was really excited when I found out that you can make a resume on Canva, because I don't know about you guys, but I have a lot of years of experience, and they want you to keep your resume to one page. I beg of you, keep your resume to one page. So it's hard though to put all your information into one page and still make it look skimmable and readable, right? You have to be able to skim it within like 3 to 7 seconds, and it needs to look nice and pretty. So I was really happy when they were able to have resume templates. So right off the bat, they have a lot of different resume templates. Some of them are pretty standard, like this one. Some of them have a lot more color. Again, pick the resume that works best for your industry. So let's use this one. Now, the reason why I want to pick this one is a lot of the templates have a photo. Depending on what industry you're in or which business coach you're using, you could put a photo, put not a photo, right? Either way. I decided not to put a photo, but what I did was I used this space to just put like my logo or like my initials or some kind of graphic there. But you can leave it there if you want, or you can take it out, for example, delete. So that circle is still there, and then you could put something else in there. So you can upload your logo, you could upload a signature or a symbol, and it'll just take the shape of that circle. So let's say, let's use this. So right there, there's like a logo I have, and so it just takes that nice little shape. All right, so I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger, because again, it's a resume, so you definitely don't want to misspell words. All right, and it's gonna have get in touch, and it's gonna have all of this information. You can start editing it. So, well, actually, I want to show you guys one more thing. Okay, here it is. All of this is grouped together. So when you're making changes, sometimes it's hard to make the edits because they have grouped this whole section together. And then when you're making the edits, it might affect different areas. What I like to do when I see this is hit this ungroup. Now it makes every little section its own. So when you're editing it, you're just editing that section and it's not affecting the spacing for everything else. So just hit ungroup and then start just playing around with it. And of course, you could just change the font size. They keep them at like 10. So you guys know for a resume, do keep it at 12, because that's just annoying to try to read a 10 font resume. Yeah. And so again, it's nice because it sort of just groups them all together. And you have your specialties and languages, and you can just put whatever you want here. What I want to share with you guys as well is, let's see. All right, you could download your resume once it's completely done, and you could save it as a PDF. Where did it go? Hold on. Okay, there. So you can save it as a PDF. You can save it as a JPEG, PDF standard, whatever you want to save at. Not a video, unless there's a video component to it. And then once you save it, you could just email it. Or if you want, you can share the link. And I definitely would suggest doing this, not to the person you're applying the job for, because they might not have Canva, but send this link to maybe a colleague, a friend, or anyone that you trust to look over your resume, so they can actually go into your resume and make little comments or notes within the resume, or just make edits within. Of course, share it with people that you trust, but that way they can view it, give you any suggestions. And like it says, there's no sign-in required, so they don't necessarily need to have Canva to view it. But if they do have Canva, they can sign in, view it, and make the edits. But they don't necessarily need to have Canva to view it. Now let's see, animation. Can I do an animation here? Let's just go back. I also want to share with you guys a resume that has color in it. So let's do this one. This is quite bright. It's very pink. I think we could all agree it's really pink, but it says she's a fashion blogger. So this person named Greta May Evans is a fashion blogger. So it makes sense that the resume is pink. But let's be honest, that could be a little difficult to read sometimes. So as you can tell, it is a template, so they won't let me do the transparency in the color. So what you can do is just choose a different color, right? But if it allowed me to do transparency, I would just make it a little bit lighter, so that way it's not as bright. Okay, let me see if there's any other questions. No. All right, so let's do a card. So you could actually create cards within Canva that you could print. So if you have a printer or a friend that with a printing company, you can actually just print out these cards and mail them to customers. If that's how you communicate with your customers, is something through the mail. Maybe most of your customers like getting their discount through the mail. Maybe you want to send them a nice note of saying thank you for being in business with us, even during the pandemic. This is a wonderful way. You could just create a nice card with your brand colors and a thank you, and you could print them out, or you could just create the card and email it to everyone on your team and on all your customers and as an attachment or as a photo. So you don't have to worry again about creating something from scratch. So I thought this is a nice little card. It just says happy birthday. So this is something you can send to a customer. Again, you can change the color to match your brand colors. And again, you can add some animation to it. So of course, the animation won't show up if you print out the card and mail it, but it will show up if you email it to like this customer. So maybe you do have a customer and it's their birthday, or maybe every month you want to send a nice little card via email to everyone's birthday that's going to come up in February. Maybe all your customers' birthdays in February. So you want to do a quick little animation. So this is the block one, tumble, baseline. So they don't have a lot of animations, but they're fun to see and play around with. And you could definitely figure out which one you want to use. And they're all like 5 seconds. So again, you could say print cards. And you could pick the type of paper. So you could print it yourself. Like you could say download, go to download, and you print them yourself. Or you can have Canva print them for you, which is amazing because let's be honest, I don't know about you guys, I don't have a printer. So I do everything digitally, but if I need to print, I do ask the business office downstairs if I could print. But yeah, so they have the opportunity for you to print, and you can pick the type of paper you want, the type of finish you want, how many copies, there's the pricing here. So this makes it a lot easier if you just don't have access to a printing company or a printer, or you can just download it as a PDF and print and send it off to a printer that and then they can print it out for you. That is pretty much the same also with business cards and any type of signage that you may have. So let's say you want to print out some posters. Again, they can print them out for you, or you could just download those posters as a PDF and then you can print them out yourself. Let's get out of there. All right. Now let's do Eventbrite. Actually, Facebook event cover. So I also want to share with you guys this. They have Facebook event covers, Twitter event covers. I thought they might have Eventbrite, but they don't. So event covers, if you guys have any virtual events coming up for your business, you know the event covers, like you create the event in Facebook, and then there's that banner cover on top, and it's like this weird shape, like size. Definitely just pick one of these templates. So let's just pick Winter Wonderland template, if you will. And then let's just pick a photo that's not that. This looks fun. Maybe my event is we're going to create like amazing crafts. Again, there's transparency. There's also filters. So for filters are available for pretty much everything, for any type of photos. So your Instagram photos, your resume, like when you have the photo there, your menu, if you have a photo. And for the most part, I want to say all of the filters came with the free version. I don't think there is any extra filters I got with the paid version. And so the filters, again, just change it up a bit. So this is great, especially if you want to keep a similar look. I know for myself, I like, oh, I don't keep these, but this nice little afterglow one is fun. This whimsical one is can sometimes be fun, or the rosy one. But yeah, you could play around with the filters if you just want a different look. And of course you could adjust the brightness and everything like that. So they have it there as well. So they have everything put in place. They want to make it as easy as possible, but I don't want you to think you have to use the templates as is. The effects, though, I do know a lot of them came with the paid version. So let's do shake. I don't know what that happened. But there's a lot of different effects you can use. You can play around with it. Sorry, I don't use effects often because I feel like with anything you create, you don't want to add too much to it because then it gets a little crazy. But going back to this, is an event cover. So you're just going to download this. And then when you create your event, you're going to have that nice banner image. You can upload it and it's the sizing that is needed for it. So that's fun because I know for myself, I do a lot of events and a lot of photos we take on our phone or our camera are not the size of those event banners. And so we need to actually just move our photos here so it gets the right sizing. So that way the photo isn't stretched, because I know we've all been to events where like the photos stretch or it's like blurry because it's not fitting the sizing. So this is how you could fix that. Stop share. All right. So thank you so much for you guys being here. Have yourself a good night, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.